Roman.
Whoa! Someone's had a good hunt. Any materials you collected? Take them straight to Suzuran-sensei, would you?
Are you alright, Ji-san? Do you need another rest?
It wasn't like this when the Karakuri were working. It was a breeze to...
Ah, you hunted a tsunobashiri for us, did you? Those spine gliders are tough. We owe you one. Arigato. You're clearly well able to do your job then. But how are you holding up? No strange sensations? Excellent. That's good to hear. You must tell me at once if you notice anything out of the ordinary. Having a karakuri implanted in your body may have consequences you're not expecting. The seed is a very old karakuri, the crystallization of wisdom amassed by the ancient hunters. It will make a deep physiological and mental connection with you. It allows its host to conjure and control karakuri, to influence the ki that flows through the entire natural world. In fact, until now, I honestly believed it was a fairy tale. I certainly never imagined that I'd see it with my own eyes. Yes, that's very true, but sadly it's not without its pitfalls. Firstly, I don't believe you can manipulate karakuri wherever and whenever you like. You've experienced that already, of course. You haven't been able to make use of karakuri here in Minato, for example. Secondly, it would appear you can't conjure them all whenever you like. I imagine there has to be some sort of trigger to stimulate the requisite memory. Given that it's a hunter's device, it seems reasonable to assume that those triggers will occur in the course of hunting activities. And third, the seed is deeply embedded in your heart. So deeply that one can no longer function without the other. What I'm trying to say is that if that tiny karakuri were to break, you would die. Now, it's not especially fragile, so there's no need to panic, but still, I would treat it with due care. Good. Yes, before you go, there's one last thing. There's a small task I'd like you to undertake. Or rather, the town elders have decided it should be done. It may even result in the first pitfall that I mentioned before being rendered moot. I think it would be quicker to show you rather than trying to explain further. We can leave whenever you're ready. And Natsume will be coming along too. So, a trip to the island. A boat trip. Unavoidable, I suppose. Oh, sorry. I'm talking to myself. As soon as you're ready, we'll set off together. I forgot how much I hate boats.
Are you alright, Sensei? You did say you'd explain what we're doing here when we'd arrived.
I'll be fine. So, there is an old ruin on the island here where the natural flow of ki has stagnated. I need you to clear the blockage. I think... You said you tried it before, didn't you? In the Nanohana field along the old Blossom Trail. I'd like you to do the same thing here. I learned that a particular material is required for the job, and through meticulous research, I've managed to ascertain which kemono to hunt to obtain it. It's a kemono called Jigokuzaru, or lava back.
As far as we know, it's lived on this island since ancient times. Apparently, Minato's hunters have never been a match for it.
Your confidence is reassuring, but I don't want you taking any unnecessary risks. If it seems too much for you, return to Minato and reconsider your approach.
I hear that the lavaback lives on the north side, but there are other kemono on the island too. Perhaps hunting some of those first would be a good plan. Then I can make you stronger equipment with the materials.
Let's hope this really does help Minato flourish again.
Sensei?
Sorry, I was muttering to myself. Oh yes, I nearly forgot. I've taken the liberty of adding a rather special karakuri to your gauntlet. I have a matching one, and together they'll allow us to communicate when we're too far away to speak to each other. It'll all become clear once you use it.
Yep. Yep. Sorry. Sorry. Yep. 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 Sorry. Yep. 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 Yep.
why you're in such demand. All right, we're on our way.
Yup.
Well, well. Again we meet. It seems you have a knack for cheating death. As a hunter, I see you have grown. The fire in your eyes burns stronger now. Fitting that our paths cross here, in the sacred land of the ancient hunters. Traces of their aspirations remain, both within you and without. Once it was so that hunters were born here, raised here, and would die on this soil. But in time, they expanded their horizons, crossing the sea to Azuma. But that migration was only possible with the power of Karakuri. With the knowledge and technology possessed only by those hunters of old. Sadly, all that was no longer is. The haven the hunters built for themselves in Azuma was washed away by the rain of 1,000 days. A great flood that covered all the land. What few hunters survived dispersed northward or westward, taking with them what little knowledge remained of Karakuri. All that was left behind crystallized to become the seed. So you see, all that was left behind now exists within you. You need only hunt, and trust that in so doing, the seed will soon grow.
Over there, look! Oi!
Sorry to keep you. Your successful defeat of the Kemono means we can proceed with the... Oh, what's wrong? Are you sure? You look like you've just seen a ghost. Anyway, never mind. Let's get on with the plan. You remember we discussed how you're enabled to conjure and command Karakuri anywhere you like? Well, the reason for that is intimately tied to a form of energy known as celestial thread. Think about when you create Karakuri out of nothing. Tendril-like phenomena appear, don't they? That is celestial thread. It's the motive force behind all Karakuri. If there isn't enough of it, Karakuri can't operate. The larger and more complex the Karakuri, the more celestial thread is required to power it. You've probably noticed already as you've been walking around that these ruins appear to be some kind of giant Karakuri. We can only imagine that at one time it was functioning as intended until, for some reason, the celestial thread here dried up and it ground to a halt.
For some reason. Due to stagnation of ki in the ground, perhaps?
Precisely. Ki and celestial thread are essentially the same thing. The ki here is not flowing. Fix that, and these ruins should come alive. Legend tells that this place is actually an elaborate machine used to divert celestial thread to another location. And I'm sure by now you can deduce what location that is. Our very own Minato. Which means that if we're successful here, all the Karakuri that have been gathering dust in Minato until now should suddenly spring to life!
I was starting to think I'd never see them working again.
What we're trying to achieve here is crucial to the survival of the town. The influence of the Kemono is growing all the time. So,
Minato's karakuri working again. I just can't imagine it.
It's exciting, isn't it? I have memories from my early childhood when they were still working.
The wall is opening up.
And look at the celestial thread weaving its way. Oh, this I have to study.
So, we did it!
Yes, we did! A great success! You played your part perfectly. Thank you so much. Now, let us hurry back to Minato and see the
Yes, I can't. Amazing, amazing, amazing! I never dreamed this could happen! Everything is working again! It's like life has been restored to the whole town. Every karakuri is working again. Oh, then the karakuri at the forge will be... This I have to see!
Well, Natsuma's happy. To be honest, there are dozens of things I'd like to experiment with, too. And if you wouldn't mind, I'll be needing your help with many of them. Wow. Isn't this something? Just think of the dust flying off all those old karakuri as they spring back to life. The bathhouse. It couldn't have gone better. And it's all thanks to you.
Whoa! Talk about a surprise. Your timing. Whoa! Seen the karakuri all. Bye for now.
Oya? What is the town alive again with the hum of karakuri after all these years? Dear Hunter, have you heard the unfortunate news? Of the corpse found along the Blossom Trail. They have identified the poor soul at last. A fine young farming fellow. Such a waste. It was a customer of mine who happened upon the tragedy on his way to Minato via the Harvest Canyon. And now he comes under suspicion. There is no doubt in my mind that this is the work of Kemono. Yet not all appear to agree.
Because it's hogwash. Dansuke wasn't killed by any Kemono.
Welcome back. Is my account really so hard to believe?
It makes no sense. Dansuke had some of the fastest legs in town. There's no way he would have let a Kemono get him. Besides, I happen to know he got into a fight with someone from your store the day before he disappeared. If you ask me, you lot did him in, and then tried to make it look like the work of a Kemono. No, but Kogyoku isn't one of us. She and her Crimson Treasury patrons can't be trusted.
You see what dreadful ill will befalls me? Could you possibly investigate the matter? A hunter's eye is what we need to see if this really was the work of Kemono or not. Or so say the skeptical few.
Waste of time. I'm sure these snakes will have covered their tracks. But go on. Be my guest.
I leave it in your ever-capable hands.
Ah, I've been meaning to talk to you. Ah, すみません. I just can't stop watching. It's so fascinating. This karakuri can maintain a higher temperature in the hearth. That would mean I could forge various... So I'll be the most... I just... Now that the... And if we could... Which would be good for both of us? What do you say? Do you want to... I'm ready to leave. Do you have something particular in mind? Metalwork is so much... Which one are we talking about? Metalwork is so much fun, don't you think? That's strange. It should be around here. What we need is a karakuri to help us find the camp. Here we are then. Let's get to work. Let me know when you're finished over there. The camp's coming together nicely, I think. Time for a break, maybe? Alright then, let's. Just tell me whenever you want to stop. The camp's coming. You came to Minato from the west, didn't you? Along the mountain path. That means you must have walked right around the foot of the secret mountain. That's what we call it. But people from Minato don't venture that way anymore. It was a sacred place for the hunters of old. Much like the Spirit Isle, I think. But I've never heard of any settlements or tracks that way. I suppose the weather's too inhospitable. Sometimes you see clouds of kocho fluttering around the mountainsides, though. It is pretty, but creepy in a way, too. They're called eternity ringlets, that particular type of kocho. I suppose because they gather by the injured and the dead. In the old days, some people even thought that humans in Kemono turned into kocho when they died. Anyway, ready to get back to work? Let's get this camp finished off. Let's leave it there for today, shall we? Another one? They're getting very frequent lately.
Really? Interesting.
It was like a moving mountain. Honestly, I've never seen such a huge and terrifying Kemono.
It reminds me of something I read in the records from centuries ago. A giant Kemono ripped across the land. The castle, the town, the people, all were swallowed in rock. If this is the same creature, it would explain the frequent tremors we've been experiencing recently. Even the strange behavior we observed in the other Kemono could be traced back to this giant.
All my life I've lived in Minato, and I had no idea such a Kemono lived so close.
Well, Kemono only stray outside of their territory in exceptional circumstances, and they rarely show themselves to us. Remember, all Kemono, no matter how big or small, are sustained by the same energy, celestial thread. And since celestial thread is ubiquitous, they have no need to wander in search of it.
But then, why has this Kemono... could it be because there's no thread left in its territory, perhaps?
Yes, that's my hypothesis too. I believe our giant is hungry, due to some great change in the flow of thread in its environment. Now, we recently flooded our town with celestial thread by restoring the karakuri on the Spirit Isle. So, unfortunately, we've made Minato look rather appetizing.
But that's terrible. That means this Kemono is going to expand its territory this way and swallow us up.
I wish I could fault your logic, and I'm afraid we can't reverse what we've done. I had a nagging feeling that something might go wrong, but not this wrong. If only I had investigated.
No one's to blame. None of us could have anticipated this. We didn't know anything. Didn't you say you'd encountered this bear once before? Heading from the sacred mountain towards Minato?
Oh. So that means it comes from a habitat to the north. And you're saying it was on the move even before our work at the ruins? But no, we don't have time to be pondering the cause. We must decide how to act, and quick. Are you serious? I realize your hunting skills are exceptional, but no single person could dispatch a beast of that size! Even if everyone in town pulled together, the best we could hope to do is give it a nasty surprise to begin with before... No, come on, Suzuna. You owe it to Minato to fix this. Think now. Going along the Harugasumi Way, its enormous bulk will mean it has to descend into the river. If we can position Karakuri along the bluff, we might be able to defeat it before it hits the town. I think that's the only workable strategy at this point. I'll talk to the elders about preparing the necessary Karakuri. What I need you to do is buy us some time. Without a chance to prepare, I'm afraid we're doomed.
I wonder if I could... Sorry, I need to go and test something. Meet me later at the fort.
It's going to take all we've got to overcome this threat. The town needs your help. Believe me, I'm doing everything I can think of.
Good. Sorry to run off in the middle of a... I'll come straight to the point. I need some Kemono materials, and I need them fast. I started playing around with some new innovations after all the Karakuri came back to life, you see. And I think I might have come up with a weapon we can use to fight that giant Kemono. It's clearly a rock Kemono of some kind, isn't it? Did you notice how its body was covered in deep crevices? And how Kocho were fluttering around those parts? In the same sort of way that they swarm over the corpses of Kemono, or their wounds. Well, if those crevices are wounds too, they could be weak points. And with my new weapon, we could target them from the ground. Which is why I really need those materials. I'm basically after a large quantity of iron sand. More than we have time to dig out of the ground, though. But I've remembered that Nobu mentioned a rumor about a Kemono that scatters iron sand. I'm sorry to be asking yet another favor, but do you think you could help?
If we can't live in Minato
Whatever it takes, we have... You've got them already? This is exactly what I need. Arigato. I should be able to put the weapon. It won't take long. This is a matter of personal pride. I'm going to make the greatest weapon you've ever seen in the shortest time imaginable. Blacksmith's honor. I really don't know how effective my weapons will be against that huge creature.
All right. I don't remember the last time I was this busy. But at least, the karakuri are being installed as we speak. Along the route I predicted the Kuninarashi will take, following the old Blossom Trail. It's somewhat hobbled together by people working outside their areas of expertise, but it's the best we can manage. I've had to work the carpenter's fingers to the bone. But everything should be in place the next time the giant Earthbreaker stirs. The Crimson Treasury has supplied an assortment of forbidding items too. I'm a little curious as to why Kogyoku had so much gunpowder in stock, to be honest. Still, ignorance is Zen, as they say. Best to just accept it graciously and avoid asking too many questions. I know the wretched creature is only searching for sustenance, but we have to protect our own interests and lives. This is a battle we cannot afford to lose. That's why we've pulled out all the stops. But now, it all falls to you. I'm delighted to hear you sounding so confident. Perhaps the new weapon Natsume has developed has something to do with that. Still, anything could happen out there. Oh, and Togahime wanted to speak with you. I suggest you show your face before we're plunged into battle.
Your benevolent act.
Yay.
Your efforts, they will be laughing at me now, in what long may Minato benefit from your exceptional hunting skills. There is so painfully little. I see the citizens are expending every effort for our town. Yet you are charged with the most onerous task. Are you ready for the battle ahead? In that case, may I take a moment of your time? There's something I would like to explain before you head into battle. I have been seeking assistance for Minato, but every clan is embroiled in the wars raging to the west. All have refused me outright. Even my own Ago clan offer no support. None of them, including the head of the clan, my father, have the slightest interest in Minato. In their eyes, it is worthless, good only for its inevitable destruction by Kemono, a fate they hope I, its steward. Forgive me. None of that is your concern. I am powerless to do anything. So I have no choice but to implore you, an outsider, to shoulder the burden of Minato's destiny. Please lend us your strength. Lend my home.
It's on the move.
Well, the cannon is ready for action. I just hope it holds out. It's never seen a battle like this before. I wish that Kemono would leave us alone. But it's too late for wishes now. Good luck.
This is it! Yosh! Clear the decks! Buy us the time we need. I know you can do it. might come in useful?
Must be the giant bear, Kemono. The old Blossom Trail is being completely flooded with celestial thread. That means we should be able to make use of more karakuri than usual. Finally, something we can turn to our advantage.
All right, we're there. Crossbows loaded and ready. You'll finally have some well-deserved support.
that this burden falls entirely on you. But only you can save me.
embark! Muzzy! Run! Take cover!
What an extraordinary beast!
We're out of options. You're not serious.
We've had it!
If it reaches us, we're finished. You have to slay the thing before that happens. It's all on you now, Chief.
You're our last line of defense!
Is it?
Did we win? Oi! Oi! Everyone! We won! We won!
Now please let that be the end of it.
Perhaps I underestimated you.
I'm so relieved you made it back safely after a battle like that. Ujishige-san told me what you did. Defeating that giant Kemono on your own, when all the defenses we'd prepared were spent. Togahime has asked to see you. She didn't say why. I imagine she'd like a report on the successful defeat. I'll be at the forge if you need me.
This sake will be languishing in its flask if it wasn't for your efforts. So here's to you, Chief. Kanpai.
Get your
You are such a treasure. After making such a loss on the... It pains me to have you pay full price.